I want to talk about Tesla terrorists, the pajama-clad losers keying their way to irrelevance in a world Elon Musk has already won. Picture this: Abigail Gill, a young wheelchair-bound woman from Wichita, Kansas, a good God-fearing heartland country, sits down with her family at an Olive Garden, just trying to enjoy some endless breadsticks and a plate of fettuccine Alfredo, maybe swap a few laughs with her loved ones. Meanwhile, her shiny red Tesla, her lifeline, her freedom on wheels, sits quietly in the parking lot. What happens next? Some pajama-clad lunatic in Lilo and Stitch pants decides to channel his inner toddler tantrum and keys her car from stem to stern. 8 panels, up to $10,000 in damage. Why? Because it's a Tesla. Because it's Elon Musk's brand. But apparently, in the warped mind of this cartoon-watching cretin, scratching up a disabled woman's car is a noble protest against a billionaire who's doing exactly what 80 million American voters begged him to do: drain the swamp, cut the fat, and make government work again. Abigail's heartbroken. She's in tears, telling KAKE News, quote, "Damaging a personal vehicle doesn't affect Elon Musk. It's not damaging who you're thinking it is." She's right, of course. This isn't a strike against the SpaceX wizard or the Tesla titan. It's a gut punch to a woman who needs that car to live her life. She says, "It's very easy for me to drive with my disability." And now she's stuck, wondering if she's even safe to park her Tesla in public anymore. The vandal? Caught on the car's half-dozen security cameras because, surprise, you absolute morons, Teslas are rolling surveillance hubs. He saunters out with his leftovers and his red backpack, Stitch keychains jangling, probably whistling a tune from his basement-dwelling playlist, thinking he's struck a blow for the revolution. Newsflash, buddy. You're not Che Guevara. You're a clown in cartoon pajamas who just made a handicapped woman's life harder. Bravo. But Abigail's story isn't a one-off. Oh no, this is a plague, a pure wave of domestic terrorism sweeping across the globe, from Wichita to Belfast to France. Charging stations smashed, dealerships firebombed, 12 cars torched in France alone, $712,000 up in smoke. And who's behind it? The same left-wing loonies who've spent years preening about their moral superiority, clutching their kale smoothies and Priuses, lecturing us about saving the planet. Now they're out there cutting Tesla owners off in traffic, flipping them the bird at stoplights, keying their hoods, stalking them like some unhinged ex. Here's the kicker, folks. Most Tesla owners are liberals. That's right. These are the Birkenstock Brigade, the NPR tote bag crowd, the ones who cried tears of joy when Obama got elected. And now their own comrades are turning on them like rabid dogs, all because Elon Musk dared to team up with Donald Trump to fix the bloated, fraud-ridden mess that is the United States government. And the irony here is so thick you could spread it on toast. Let's talk about the sheer brilliance of these geniuses, shall we? You have to be a special breed of dimwit to vandalize a Tesla. Again, these cars are decked out with more cameras than a Hollywood set. Front, back, sides, you name it. Every scratch, every Molotov cocktail, every middle finger is recorded in glorious high def, time-stamped and ready for the cops. Abigail's attacker? They've got his face, his pajamas, his stuffed keychains on lockdown. In Belfast, they trashed 20 cars at a charging station, and guess what? Cameras everywhere. These idiots are practically begging to star in their own episode of World's Dumbest Criminals, and yet they keep at it, convinced they're sticking it to the man. Here's a tip. You mouth-breathing troglodytes, the man's laughing at you from his penthouse while you're crying in a holding cell. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about a few unhinged weirdos with keys and kerosene. This is a climate, a toxic, festering swamp of hate, cultivated by the Democrats south of the border and their sniveling cousins up here in Canada, the left-wing nutjobs who'd rather torch a dealership than admit they lost the plot. Down in the States, you've got clowns like Tim Walz. Remember him? Kamala's VP pick who flamed out faster than a Yugo on a highway, openly cheering when Tesla's stock dips. Makes me feel better, he smirked, until someone pointed out Minnesota's pension fund is loaded with Tesla shares. Oops. Up here, it's the same story. Mark Carney's minions and their NDP lapdogs screeching about corporate greed while they turn a blind eye to this wanton property crime. They've spent years demonizing Musk, calling him a fascist, a villain, a threat to democracy, all because he's delivering on Trump's promise to gut the waste and fraud they've built their careers on. And now their foot soldiers are out there taking it to the streets, targeting innocent people like Abigail Gill. President Trump's had enough. I don't blame him. He's calling these punks what they are, terrorists. He's promising to ship them off to El Salvador's mega prisons, those lovely hellholes where gangbusters rot, and slap them with 20-year sentences. We're looking for you, he roared on Truth Social. And I say good riddance. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi's on the case too, vowing the full force of the law for anyone dumb enough to chuck a Molotov at a Tesla. Meanwhile, Tesla's stock up 22% in a week, closing in on a $900 billion valuation. So much for tanking the company, you socialist masterminds. But you're not losing the war. You're not just losing the war, you're handing Musk the victory lap. Here's the real gut punch, though. These attacks don't just hurt Tesla owners. They spit in the face of everything the left claims to stand for. Tesla's a green revolution on wheels, cutting carbon emissions, sticking it to big oil. And these fools are trashing it. They're not fighting climate change. They're torching the future. And jobs? Tesla employs 125,000 people worldwide, pumping life into renewable energy and American manufacturing. Stuff Biden threw billions at. Stuff Carney loves to yammer about. But nah, let's burn it down, because Elon's a meanie. Brilliant. The hypocrisy's so blatant it's almost performance art. And up here in Canada, where we pride ourselves on being polite and sensible, we're letting this garbage fester too. Our lefty elites wring their hands about systemic this and iniquity that. But when it comes to protecting a disabled woman's property, or anyone's, they're silent. They've created a culture where every whack job with a grudge thinks it's open season on Teslas. Shame on them. Shame on us for letting it slide. So to the pajama-clad terrorists, the firebombers, the key-wielding cowards, you're not heroes. You're not rebels. You're losers. Pathetic, small-minded losers, picking on a handicapped woman, on families, on workers, all because you can't handle losing an election or an argument. You're not hurting Elon Musk. You're proving him right. And those cameras, they've got your number. And justice is coming. As for the rest of us, Christians, conservatives, Canadians who still believe in decency, let's keep fighting the good fight. Because if we don't, these clowns might just win. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let that happen on my watch. Hey, this is Richard Syrett. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe.